Hello everybody, this is Tracy Markley from Tracy's Personal Training, Pilates and Yoga Studio, coming to you guys again to help with arm, shoulder movements. So a lot of you guys are in stroke recovery and you're trying to get the movement back in your arm. So I'm going to go over a few things. You guys have watched my other videos. If you haven't, go see them. And a lot of you have read my books. And the two books that I have that would help you with this is The Stroke Recovery, What Now? When Physical Therapy Ends But Your Recovery Continues. And also my newest book, The Power of Your Spine, How Back Strength and Posture Pilots the Entire Body. It's an anatomy book, and I go over a lot of things I'm showing you here is in the book, and they work together as a team. The more you know your body and your muscles and the movements, the better you're going to get movements back, especially if you don't have a good therapist with you right now or a good fitness specialist or professional that knows these movements to help you come back. So when it comes to arm movement, a lot of the times in therapy, and not all of them, there's some really good neurotherapists out there that know the muscles and movements and the biomechanics of the body. And some you get the basic stuff. They're all different. Everyone's getting different treatments. But often when I work with people who have been through therapy, a lot of the times they just do a lot of squeezing of the hand and not a whole lot of movements. It's teaching where the movements come out of the back by the upper back and the shoulder blades. The shoulder blades help move the arm, and the chest muscle moves the arm, and the lat muscle moves the arm. So there's a lot of other muscles involved. But to get the shoulders lined up so the arm movements can come back, you have to get your posture straight. So I'm just going to go over some pictures real quick of anatomy. It's not going to be completely thorough because I don't want to overload your mind, but just enough to make it make sense to you. Because I know with me and all my clients I've worked with for over 25 years, if it makes sense why you're doing something, it's going to be easier to follow. And then it will make sense if you're on your own working out, or if you're with a therapist, or if you're with another trainer, or wherever you're at, it will make sense why you should or should not do certain exercises. So let's just look at the spine right now. So sorry, I have something in my eye. Okay, so here is the back view of your spine, and you have your shoulder blades. So you have your shoulder blades. Oops, I have a chair on the way. And it's they're right in here. So this is the back. You have muscles between the shoulder blade. You have muscles that attach to the shoulder blades. Your biceps and triceps attach to the shoulder blades. Bicep, tricep. So when you're trying to get arm movement back, getting movement in the shoulder blades and your upper back, being a good posture will help you get your arm movement back. Because you don't lift things just from moving your hand. They come up from the shoulder, the arms lifting, the shoulders moving, the deltoid, the rotator cuff muscles, the rhomboid, the serratus, all these muscles are involved. So keeping this in mind, this is proper posture. See how the shoulder blades are lined up? So your shoulder is a ball and socket girdle. Joint, ball and socket joint. So you have the ball and socket goes in, and it moves and it rotates, and it lifts and it goes forward, and so it moves. There's a ball and socket right here, so it lifts. It can go around in circles, it pulls down, it goes through all these range of motions. So you need to get activated all the different muscles that move all the different movements. You have the chest muscle that adds to like this movement pulling forward. You have the traps and the rhomboids, and some of the back muscles help pull it back. And the back of the deltoid, which deltoid is right here. You have the anterior, which is the front, the medial, the middle, and the posterior and back. And they all do they all help with a different movement. So I have been working with a couple clients, plus I've seen some people sharing some of their videos. And you know who you are, because I told you I was going to send one to do a video. Okay, so the arms, just the pole movement, it's not coming from your hands. It initiates from the rhomboids, which are muscles that come down like this between your shoulder blades. They contract, pull your shoulder blades in, and then your arms follow. So in the pictures, let's get into that. So your rhomboids, They're about right through here, and I will show you them. Let's get through these pictures kind of quick. And here's just another, before I get to that, here's another picture just showing some of the deep muscles that need to be strong to keep your posture up. We've gone through this in other videos, and it's in every single book. I have 4 books. Very important to get your inner deep muscles strong. Okay, so here's your rhomboids. They're right through here. So this is just one shoulder blade, one side of the spine. So when these flex, it pulls this back. So when you're trying to get your arm movement, or you're on a table doing things, see, I think that's a great exercise, especially if you can't hold the arm up. But you don't want to be swinging. You want to be up tall. Initiate with the shoulder, with the rhomboids, and then pull back with your arms. And if one arm's not going good by itself, grab something to hold on to with both hands. So when you pull the one arm that's working well, it helps assist the other one in the movement. So for instance, I have clients, let me grab that. They may have, I don't have a table in here right now. I may have them sit at home with their homework at a table. Well, their arms are on the table. This is almost like a broomstick, but it's not. I think it's part of a clothes hanger, closet pull. Anyway, shoulders are set. So when one arm's pulling in, it's going to help pull that other one, then push it back out as well. But make sure you're not doing it like this, because that's your abs, that's your back. You want to isolate that. Start pulling your shoulder blades together from those rhomboids, and then follow through with the arms. And then roll it back out. You know, if you're rolling something out, kind of work with that. You can use a band. If you have a band on a pole, pull it together, reach it back out. You guys see me use the anchor point training last time. I'm going to turn this a little bit. I'm also going to show you. You can see, oh good, you can get in there. You might see my little light fixture here too. So I have anchor point training, and also have a TRX, generic TRX, but they work the same. So you can see me without that light in your way. This is this band. This is the TRX. This is actually a generic version, but they're pretty much the same. $24 compared to $120, so it works for me. Anyway, you can have your hands on here, leaning back with your body weight. This is if your hands can grip. I know some of you guys in stroke recovery, your hands won't grip, and you probably can't do this one. But if you can get both hands to grip, this is something that can work for you. So it will be pretty much the same movement as starting through here, but you use your body weight. So you can be more upright, you can take it more horizontal. So basically it's like a reverse push-up. So find a spot that works for you. Your core stays steady. You're not swinging, you're not rounding, you're in good form. Hold your body weight up, bring it back down. Start with your shoulder, those rhomboids pulling together first, and then pull yourself up. And if you can't do it with both hands, you can do both hands on one. This right here is the anchor point training version. It's separate, so you could grab both on the same handle. So when one arm's doing the good job, the other arm can follow along. It's not independent, so it gets some assistance. So you would be, let's see if I can get you to see me better. I know I'm kind of far away, but if you can grip it, if you're someone that can grip, I know some of you can't. Your arm that's working better will help pull you, and your arm that's trying to recover is following along. Your posture's good, your abs are in, you're pulling in, you're letting it release, you're pulling in, and you're coming back down. That's another way you can help with your arm movements coming back. That's if you're at that level. Everybody's at different levels, and different muscles aren't working well on you. That's why when you guys have, or stroke survivors have spasticity, I think people just think if your arm's not working, it's right here. But you may have some spasticity through these muscles, or through the other muscles in here, or there's serratus, and maybe possibly the deep spine muscles I talk about, like the multifidus. I don't think you always know exactly which one it is, but there's a lot of muscles involved with moving the arm. So, initiate the movement. Reach with, imagine those rhomboids are flexing. So like when your bicep flexes, it brings your arm this way. When your rhomboids flex, it brings your shoulder blades together. So basically you're bringing your shoulder blades together, squeeze them together, but you're using this middle muscle. If one arm's having a harder time, which is part of what comes with the stroke, if you're able to grip, if you're using a band or something like I showed you over there, or something rolling on a table you're doing, or pulling. I have people roll a ball. Walk a ball out, walk a ball in. There's many different ways to go at it. And it's going to depend on your shoulders because it is just some facts. Some people can have the arms this way and it's working. Some are this way. Some are this way. Going back this way. It depends on your shoulder joint. One joint may not be able to do this yet, so you kind of have to do what's working. So if the other hand can assist to make that hand do the movement, do so. If you're doing where you're pulling that arm out and you're trying to pull this, try to initiate the shoulder blades. Try to get the shoulder blades moving by doing the rhomboids, because your shoulder blades, they come forward, they come under, they tuck, they do all this movement and things are attached to it. So the fact that the biceps and triceps are attached to the shoulder blades, doesn't it make sense that the shoulder blades need movement for this to come back as well? Because they all work together. Okay, I'm going to go on because there's more muscle. So that's just one tip right there. And even just looking on here, you also have the you have the levator scapula too. This one's marked wrong. This is the levator scapula. This helps with the neck movement. If this muscle is locked up like this, or any of those neck muscles are locking you up here, your shoulder's not going to work right. And most likely if you're here, you may have a partial dislocation, or something going on here is making you have a lot of hip pain, or the opposite hip pain, because you have fascia lines that run, and what's going on here can affect over here. So get your shoulders down, get your abs in and good posture. Get your posture strong. You've seen all those muscles. Okay, let me go on. This is going to be a long video, but let's move on to your chest muscles. Okay, you have your pectoris major and pectoris minor. Look where it attaches. At your arm bone, at your clavicle. This one actually attaches on the shoulder blade. So these muscles help do, I can't make it show right. This, pulling your arms back this way. That's when you see people laying on a bench and they're doing this. I actually have these bands I like to use, but it doesn't always work with everyone in stroke recovery. But just to show the movement, because if you can get these movements going in another direction, laying on the floor, laying on a workout table or the bed, however you can do it. So your chest pulls your arms back this way. So does the front of the shoulder. You have the anterior delt right here. It assists in this as well. The chest helps push out. You have the back, upper back helps pull the arms back, and you have the chest and the triceps help push the arms back out. That's why it's good to work on the pole I shared in the last one, doing push-ups. But also with the push-ups, think of leading with those rhomboids and then coming down, push back out. Sometimes you might want to stretch that out and get a place back in here. It will depend on you. I wish I could train you guys all in private. In person, because everyone's so different. I would probably have you all do something a little different that works with your body. But if you have enough tips here that may help you, it may help you piece some things together. So here's just another picture of, you have the chest muscle, the deltoid, which is the shoulder, you have the biceps, and the subscapularis and the teres major is part of the rotator cuffs. The rotator cuffs, they help, you have 4 rotator cuff muscles. They help hold the shoulder girdle in place for movement. So if your posture's here, those aren't going to work well either. So you have several muscles that assist with arm movement. You have muscles that rotate out, help rotate in, that help lift. You have muscles that do all kinds of movements. And what else I wanted to show you here? I think that was it on that one, just to kind of give you a quick tips on that. And the lat muscle. So there's a lot more details into this. To learn the anatomy of the body takes a long time. But I'm just trying to give you guys just quick information, but good information, so it can help you. Your lat muscle. See this big back muscle? It attaches on that arm bone. So when you see people at the gym and they're doing the lat pull downs, which they're, at the machine and they're pulling down here, they're working their lats. That lat muscle is help pulling that arm back down. So that kind of movement at a machine may work for you. It depends on what you're capable of and what machines you can fit in and what equipment you have. But there's ways to do these certain exercises with the ball. So I'm going to show you some ball work too. But again, if you have one of those, remember, don't ever go behind your head. You bring it to your chest and back up. Chest and back up. If you can grab with both hands, you also, if you're on one of the machines, you can actually grab it like this way. And you can come down this way. And this, you're going to have the biceps assisting and your lats working it well, and part of your traps too. So bringing it down through here. So there's different ways to do things. At the gym, sometimes they have a machine where you lean on a pad and you grab two handles and you bring your arms back in here. That will work too. Anything where you can do that kind of movement. And if the moving part of the equipment, or have something that's solid, so if the arm that still needs help can't work on its own, the other one will make it go through the movement. But make sure, whether you're going forward, back, up, here, pulling, no matter what you're doing, you stay in good posture and your shoulder girdle is lined up. Because if you're doing things here or in here, or you're doing this, or you're trying to do shoulder raises, you're not going to get your movements back. And if you do, they're going to be dysfunctional and you're going to be injured. So the body works better. It is a proven fact. If it's in an upright position, the systems and movements work better. So, I mean, if you think about it, if you're here and you're trying to lift your arm, you can't go very high, but if you're here, you have more range of motion. So, let me see what else I can show you here. So, with that, the lat muscle, see how big that muscle is? And it goes into this big white fascia here. Now, in my video and in every book I write, I share how you have that thoracic lumbar fascia. Here's your lats right here. These lats come down the fibers in this fascia, and it works with this butt muscle. It works with your glute muscle. These work as a team when you're doing things. So here's your glutes. So here's your glutes. You got that fascia right here, and this glute works with this lat. So I'll show you some exercises that helps with that too. So when you get that functioning movement back, like when you're walking and different movements, it will flow better than just sitting and isolating them. Okay, where'd it go? I think that's it. I did not bring the other one I wanted to show you. Okay, that's good. That's what I got for you guys. So there was another picture, but I don't have it, but it's basically showing how this lat muscle works with this other glute. So you have this, and they work together as a team. When you walk, when you do things, they work together as a team. So just isolating sometimes doesn't always do the best job. Okay, so this video is getting long, but I'm going to show you a couple more exercises. So you got the ones where you pull. If you can lift your arm, you can reach out in here for your deltoid. But what if you can't lift that arm? There's other ways to go about it. You may be able to lay on the floor. That's if you can get on the floor. If you can't, lay on a massage table or something higher, just not something really gushy. So I'm going to move this so you can see a little better. Let's see. Let's go this way. Let's go right about there. Right about there. Okay. So I'm going to lay on the floor and show you an exercise if you can see it. It is in another video. If you look through my YouTube video, look for one of the videos about the shoulders and the rotator cuff movement. And even though I don't believe this is the best way always to work on that range of motion, I did show in that video how to at least do that properly. Because again, if you're here doing your exercises, it's not going to give you the movement you need to win back. Okay, so if you're on the floor and you can put your arm right here, grab a weight or just a movement. You don't have to have a weight. Lift the arm here and lower it down. You don't want to go way up here. Just lift a little bit and down, back down. Lift a little bit and back down. What you're doing is this movement, little teeny movement. You're not going up high. Little bit here. It will isolate the deltoid. But again, you have to be in good form. And only do any of these exercises I show you if you feel safe, if you can do them, if it doesn't cause you joint pain. Because if you have something going on in your joint in your shoulder, it's going to hurt you and you don't want to get hurt. Okay? All right. So I told someone the other day I'm going to share this exercise with you guys. And again, this helps a lot with getting range of motion back. It works with the triceps, the lats, the core, coordination, because if you stay focused and have to pay really attention to your movements, it's going to help you get spatial awareness back to where your body and your feet and hands are in space. So, if you have a ball and you can come to the floor, not everyone can come to the floor, but if you can, you're going to hit right here. See my legs right here? What you're not doing is coming out in a plank. Your leg bone, your femur bone is going to be straight up and down. You're just hinging at your hip. It may move a little bit, but you're not pushing yourself out. So you don't want your butt or hips going in front of your knees. You're going to take the ball with your hands about this wide. You're going to set those shoulder girdles. You're in good posture. You're going to hinge at your hips, come out flat. Push your hands into that ball and pull yourself up high. Roll back out. Push yourself up back high into that ball. Come right back out. Push it up high. You are really working the lats and you're opening up that range of motion if your joints can do it. Remember, only do it if it works for your body and your body's ready to do it. If you can do it and it's not hurting you and it feels like it's just this arm's not maybe opening up all the way, gently keep working with it because it will help with the movements. When you're trying to get your arm movements back, doing other things will help you. So keep your abs in really tight when you do this. And again, you're going to come out as flat and come right back up. It's a movement. And then come right back up. If you are advanced and you've been doing things and you want to work things a little harder, if you're able, again, it's going to depend on you. You take a BOSU ball, you kneel on the BOSU ball, find your balance, and now you're going to work your glutes and your quads and your core even more, and you're going to come down and push yourself back up. Come all the way down and push yourself. And every time you come up, you want to come all the way up tall. Don't come up and arch your back, but you want to be out and push yourself up tall. That's whether you're on the floor or on the ball. I mean, on the BOSU ball. Come all the way up to good posture because you're trying to train your body to be upright to get these movements back. No movements are your shoulders here. They stay down. Proper form. So, real quickly before we finish up, I wanted to share a video with my one client who is 88, stroke survivor. When he came to me, his hand was blue and just straight, flat. I've never seen such a thing. I didn't think I'd be able to help him much with his hand, but we started working on the core, working on his posture, working on standing up and out of the wheelchair and walking across rooms and everything. We've been getting to his arm. Some of you guys have seen it. So I have shared in my other videos, when you do exercises, if you stand on the balance disc or the BOSU ball, I really feel with this, the balance disc kicks in a little more. You stimulate your central nervous system more. Now, before I show you that, a story, 2 quick stories. Some of you, if you've read my books, it's in the books, you may know it, but if you don't know it, one gentleman who was 89, stroke survivor, his hand stayed curled up. We would sit down and we'd work on trying to open it. Because what I have people do, I have them make the other hand do it, feel it, see it, close your eyes, sense it, then try to make the other hand mimic. And it does, in a lot of cases, it does cause a little bit of movement. But what I did with him and my other clients is I have them stand on the balance disc at a pole if you can't hold on. And the hand that needs exercises, you do that here. So I'm going to be right over here. So pretend like I'm on the disc right now, and I'm having your hand by your side, and you're trying to open it or flex it or do whatever exercises you're doing. If you can, hold your arms out and do the connection of the the rhomboids and doing some of these movements on there, you will get some movements back quicker. And let me show you right here the difference. Oh, so quickly with that man I was just talking about. So I started getting him on the disc. And every time he was on the disc, his hand went further than it does when he's off the disc. His 7th visit, because every time he got off, he would get it further and would go right back. His 7th visit doing it, the distance his hand got open, it started staying. And then we got further on from that. So here is the first video. He's standing on the floor. This is my see if I can get this a little over, my 88-year-old client. So he's standing on the floor in that video, and this one he's on the disc. He's holding on with one hand. Watch the difference in the movements. It's the same day. See how much further his arm moves? When he, they might play. See how far that arm's moving? See how little that arm's moving? You get on the disc, he got more movement. It may not happen the very first or second time. A little bit it did. This is probably our 5th time maybe. Look at that movement coming back. And he has color in his hand. It's not blue anymore. So he's getting movement back, but look at the difference. Standing on the floor, standing on a disc. It's stimulating the central nervous system more. So there's proof right now. And he's 88. So that right there shows you if you can get on these balance products. I prefer the disc for this, but the BOSU ball can work too. The BOSU ball, they're both great products. I just think this one gets a little deeper into it, but they both are great. So do your hand exercises. Do, maybe you can stand on there and do something like this. Maybe you can't. Hold on with one hand. Maybe just try the movement. Attempt the movement. Attempt swinging your arms. When I'm working with him, his wife's usually standing behind him. You won't see her in the video because she's the one to be videoed. But I'll say, swing your arm towards your wife, and then he'll swing it forward, or I'll say, swing it to this way, and he'll try to make the motions. And they're much bigger motions on the disc. And he's maintaining when he gets on there. So we've probably been 2 months working on that arm, and he's almost 2 years post-stroke, 88. So for him to come back, it's pretty cool. But we're working on other things in the body working too. He can do the push-ups now. He's starting to get this done. So you can sit at a table, put your arms on a table, but sit up tall and work on it. In case you can't hold that arm up, you can get it up there. His arm's getting up higher now. So I know this is kind of all over the place, but the point I wanted you guys to understand, there's so many more movements and muscles involved in getting your arm movement back. So some of you that feel like you've just lost hope with it, no, it's much more than just squeezing something and moving this. I mean, look, if you go to the grocery store, you take something off the shelf. You don't just go, you reach, you grab, you pull back. Well, this is, you're working chest, shoulders, rhomboids, rotator cuffs, because you're turning. I mean, there's all these different things going on in there. And if you're getting something up high, lats and chest is working. So that exercise we did, just rolling out with the ball and coming back up, it may be difficult. As long as it does not hurt a joint, it can help you get some movement back. There's a lot of other things to do too, but I just don't like giving too many exercises advice via video because everyone's different. Because this may be great for one of you and someone else is like, I can't do it, my shoulder hurts. So only do things that work for you. But remember, if you get my books and watch my videos, you're going to gain more knowledge. Therefore, you can take your knowledge to a professional that lives near you. If you can't live, you don't live near me and I can't help you, try to go to an individual and say, hey, I have this book. Can you work with me? Or I know this and that. Do you know how to make these movements come back? Because if they just have like a basic personal training certification, they might know all these muscles. They'll know bicep, triceps, how to maybe squat, a couple of things, but they have to further their education and know their biomechanics really well. Someone who's gone to college for it, or a fitness specialist program at a college program where everything was just that. Ask for credentials. Go home and look up their credentials and see, oh, is that just a 2-hour course online, or is that actually something they learn muscle? Because physical therapists go to school for several years. So do doctors. And even massage therapists, they get 400-600 hours. So you want someone working with you who has many, many hours of studies, research, knowledge, doing things with you. So The Power of Your Spine. This is the book I was just showing that. I'm sorry, my glasses fell down here and I can't find them. Okay, I don't have my glasses. Okay, the muscles I show you, they're all in this book. It shows where they attach, what movements they make, what movements they assist in. And this is a great book to have to help you get your movements back. The knowledge of it, understanding it, it will tell you exactly what movements they do. Okay, most of you guys know my stroke recovery right now and physical therapy ends, but your recovery continues. Has a lot of information in here. It's helped a lot of people. It's really great. And these two books would work really well together. So the first one is The Power of Your Spine, how back strength and posture pilots your entire body. And this also goes really into all these muscles that need to be strong to keep you upright. You got layers down to that bone of muscles, just like a tree trunk. If the tree trunk's hollow, it's going to be weak. But that tree, if it's solid to the center, you're going to have strength in here, so this can get stronger. And then my first book was A Stroke of the Artist, The Journey of a Fitness Trainer and Stroke Survivor. And the second book was Tipping Towards Balance, A Fitness Trainer's Guide to Stability and Walking. So anyway, all my books have anatomy in it to help you learn and understand why you're doing things and why certain muscles must be stronger to help you get things back. The Power of Your Spine is just a complete anatomy book. The other ones just have a chapter. Anyway, I know this is really long. I feel like I've just rattled, but there's so many things to do for your arms coming back. You just need to do the ones that work for you. Find someone with knowledge near you. Try the things I'm sharing with you. If it works for you, always be safe first. Ask, if you're with a good therapist, ask your therapist what they think you can do. But just know that if you're only doing hand movements and always being up here and always in bad form, all this cannot come back. You have to be in full good posture for movements to work through the joints. And you have to get the brain sending messages to all those muscles I just showed you. If you have spasticity in your rhomboids and you don't even realize it, the only way you're going to get that back is trying to move those rhomboids. So good luck to you guys. I'm sorry if this video went on too much, and have a good day and don't give up.